Hey there. In this video, we're going to talk about problem 4 from the Unit 1 test, which is dealing with the Eiffel Tower. So it says, below is the Eiffel Tower, the tallest structure in Paris, France. Okay? And they tell us that the Eiffel Tower is 986 feet tall. Okay? Now, that's the actual height of the Eiffel Tower. Just before we begin this problem, just so you know, this is a picture. This isn't the actual Eiffel Tower. The measurements that we get here, the approximations, I don't know how accurate they're going to be because, I don't think this thing is drawn to scale. It's a picture taken from the internet. But for our purposes, we're going to use this picture. Okay, so it says the entire tower is 986 feet high. Approximate the midsection in feet. So they're talking about this. What is that going to be in feet if we know that the entire Eiffel Tower is 986 feet? Alright, so I saw a couple different strategies of students trying to figure this out. This is the first one I saw. Just call this strategy number 1. So most students took their rulers and decided to measure first the actual height of the Eiffel Tower in centimeters. And if you measure that, it's about 11.5 centimeters. Okay, so this is 11.5 centimeters. Okay, and then they also measured the midsection here, and if you measure that, it's about 2.7 centimeters. This is 2.7 centimeters. Okay, now what some students did, because they realized that okay, this measurement here, this midsection is 2.7 centimeters. Well, they decided to start measuring, going up, how many 2.7 centimeters, could I use to get to the top of the Eiffel Tower? So they started from the bottom, measured 2.7 here, started a new one, 2.7, started a new one, 2.7, started a new one, 2.7. And at this point, the students that did this were probably like, alright, so I have one midsection here, another midsection here, another midsection here, another midsection here. And they said that it looks like it's about 1, 2, 3, 4 of these midsections. So the way they figured out how many 1 would be is by doing the mathematical operation of division, because you can see from the picture, the entire thing is divided into 4 pieces. So to figure out what one of those pieces would be, we do some division. 986, the total, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you did it this way, you do 986 divided by 4, you would get 246.5. And this is feet. Now, I'm not saying that this method is wrong. The logic behind it is really great. But I don't know if you noticed when I was doing those measurements, but there's this little piece up here that seems to be missing. See this? It doesn't account for that piece. So it makes me think that this method may create some inaccuracies. Right? You might get some more percent error if you do it this way than using another method. So maybe we should look at another strategy. So I'm going to get rid of this for now. We don't need this. Why don't we try a different strategy? So this will be strategy number 2. Yep, and we know that that's 11.5 centimeters, the entire thing. Okay, strategy 2. Now strategy number 2 would be using a ratio table. So we do that. Two quantities we have in this problem is centimeters and also feet. So we know from our measurement that 11.5 centimeters is proportional to 986 feet. The question we're being asked is, how many feet is 2.7 centimeters? How many feet is that? So the way we would do this is by going back to the unit value, because if we could figure out how many feet 1 centimeter is, then we could easily figure out how many feet any amount of centimeters are. So using what we know, to get 1, you would divide 11.5 by itself. Similarly, see what this is? So it'd be 986 divided by 11.5. Be 85.739. Let's round it to the tens place for now, so we'll call this 85.7. And now we could use this unit value to find out how many feet 2.7 centimeters would be proportional to. So we have 1. To get 2.7, you would just multiply this by 2.7, because this means we have 2.7 times as many centimeters. So similarly, we're going to have 2.7 times as many feet. So if we do this calculation, 85.7 times 2.7, and what that's going to give us is 231.39. 231.39. Okay, so that's kind of how you would do this using the ratio table, right? So final answer for this amount of feet would be they're telling us that this would be 231.39 feet. And I think you'll get more of a precise answer using the ratio table, because if you do it using this method, it's not going to leave off, that little bit, like kind of what had happened if you do strategy number 1. But not to discount strategy number 1, it's logical, it just won't get you as precise as doing something like finding unit value will. Okay? So that kind of concludes our videos for unit test 1. If you want to gain some points back, feel free to make some revisions based on these videos. And if you want to retake the test, just hand in your test revised, and you could retake this test again. Alright, so that concludes this. Good luck.